Most important thing for you, whether it be in real estate, in business, in cryptocurrency, in Bitcoin, is you learn one fundamental thing, and that's how to properly evaluate the overall validity of something, of an investment. Common sense meter at an all-time low on planet Earth. No, Ty, I don't want to buy Bitcoin when it drops. Why? You want to buy it high, right? You're that genius that buys high. Some people go, am I too late? If anything, it might be too early. Because there's not been widespread adoption. And when there's not widespread adoption and then there starts to be, people get excited. You look on the App Store and Coinbase is the #1 downloaded app in the world, but now it's not as much because these are fickle people that they're just trying to get in and get rich quick, and that's not the person you want to be. Informed opinions are rare in the game of life. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you prosper. Alan Nation, my second mentor, smartest person I ever met, he said to me, Ty, he said, secret to life is ignore 99 out of 100 people, but when you find that one person who knows what they're talking about, listen to what they say and listen closely and put it in action. Price of Bitcoin, let's talk about it. Is it gonna crash? Is it gonna go to zero? I think one of the things people forget is, as an investor, you as somebody who understands money and how things work, you got to understand that things move up and down. It's not necessarily the end of the world. You can't be like somebody who, always thinks the sky's falling. You have to ask yourself, fundamentally, do you believe that the concept of cryptocurrency and blockchain will survive? And if you do, then the rest is all noise and nonsense. You have to learn something called dollar cost averaging. If you're moving your way into any market, and this applies to really anything you do, whether it be business, real estate, stock market, equities, bonds, debt, funds, it's all the same. Things move up and down, and they didn't teach us this in school, and so people are, just blown from this way like the wind. They have no solid foundation of understanding, and so when you look at Bitcoin, it's gone from $1, 1 penny, to as high as 20,000. Now it's come down, and last I checked, it's a little over 10,000, and people are freaking out, some people, and some people are getting excited. Why are some people getting excited while some people freak out? Well, remember real estate in 2007, 2008? I remember people freaking out, the sky's falling. You got to ask yourself, do you believe in the fundamentals of real estate? Will people want a place to live? Will they pay rent? If so, you'll do okay to buy real estate. Whether you buy it perfectly timed at the exact right price over time, real estate's gone up. I remember back early 2000s, no, nobody's gonna want to use the internet. This is all a scam. This is gonna fall. And you know what? They were wrong. Jeff Bezos now declared wealthiest man, $105 billion, because he believed in the underlying asset and its validity. So the answer is, you got to believe or not believe. And some people don't believe, and I grant them that opinion. I disagree. I think cryptocurrency and the concept of blockchain will be the next quote-unquote internet, the internet 2.0, the internet 3.0, the internet 4.0. So if you believe in the fundamentals, you stick with something, and if you don't, you move on. And some of you are going to not see Bitcoin as something valuable, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to put a link. Click this link. Watch this presentation I did with somebody I consider a crypto mentor, somebody who's been in this game, studies, lives and breathes it, what we talked about. I'll be sharing those things that different crypto mentors have been training me on when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, IOTA, Verge, all these different things people are talking about, EOS. People are like, no, Ty, what do you think? Is it Stellar? Is it this? It's this new vocabulary. And you gotta learn it on your own. Because I'll tell you this, Bitcoin may drop. One of my buddies thinks it'll drop to 8,500. Another thinks it'll go to 6,000. They're excited. They're waiting. They're saying, oh, let all the dumb money get out. We'll come and scoop it up from them. Most important thing for you, whether it be in real estate, in business, in cryptocurrency, in Bitcoin, is you learn one fundamental thing. And that's how to properly evaluate the overall validity of something, of an investment. So I think that Bitcoin in cryptocurrency is valid. I think it's still as valid as it's ever been. Are some people losing track of that? Yep. Are some people going to regret losing track of it? I think so, but I've been wrong before. You must make that decision for yourself. You got to make that decision. And one of the things that I learned just in life, I've been around, I worked for GE Capital. I've worked around money. I've made money. I've made tens of millions of dollars, even more. And I wish someone had sat me down and had this type of conversation and said, listen, don't be listening MSNBC, Fox News, CNN. These journalists are always trailing the truth. They're literally always trailing the truth. So whatever is going to happen, you're going to find it a day late if you're relying on those news sources, because those journalists aren't there to tell you. I'm not saying they're bad people. It's not their job to educate you financially. They don't really care. They're trying to sell clicks. They're trying to sell, some cases, still newspapers. They're trying to sell magazines. That's their job. And when you get your financial education from somebody whose job is just to sell you a newspaper, a magazine, a click to their blog, you regret it. So watch this. I got a free presentation. It's more important than ever, because the things that we talk about in this free training are those precise things which are coming true right now. One of the things we've been warning people, there was a coin called BitConnect. And we said, and all the mentors that I work with, everybody said, look, this thing's probably a Ponzi scheme. Get out. Don't go into it. Been saying that. Go watch past videos I've done. Snapchat. They're on YouTube right now. Sure enough, they just shut down. And then there's other coins that have still shot up. Look at Litecoin. Litecoin's still hanging in there. Charlie Lee. So it's more of a matter of, as things progress, you will need to become more sophisticated. That's how I see this. As markets evolve, whether it be real estate, business, the internet, you have to become more sophisticated. Back when Amazon started, Jeff Bezos just sold books in an ugly old website that hardly worked. But it got him off the ground because there wasn't many competitors. Now Amazon has to compete with Walmart, who's spending hundreds of millions. They just bought Jet.com. Walmart bought Jet.com for $3 billion to compete with Amazon. Jeff Bezos has to put his nose to the grindstone and think things through. Well, you got to understand the cycle that things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are in. I think they're in a cycle, and that cycle is one that is moving around, and it's relatively early. One of the things Brock Pierce, I recorded a video. He's one of the most well-known voices in Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, co-founder of EOS. He said, Ty, I think it may be too early, if anything. Some people go, am I too late? If anything, it might be too early. Because there's not been widespread adoption. And when there's not widespread adoption and then there starts to be, people get excited. You look on the App Store, and Coinbase is the #1 downloaded app in the world, but now it's not as much because these are fickle people that they're just trying to get in and get rich quick, and that's not the person you want to be. Nothing wrong with getting rich, but getting rich quick is possible, but it's dangerous. It's possible, but you often lose everything. It's better to take a dollar cost averaging approach to almost everything you do. What that means, we'll talk about this in this training. Click this video and listen to this. It's important. More than ever. And let me just warn, I've been talking about this. I post on my Twitter. Not only is there potentially a drop in cryptocurrency, which doesn't mean anything bad. It just means it's like the waves in the ocean. They come and they go. And it's part of it. Waves, if you're a surfer, waves come in sets. 4, 5, 6 waves at a time. Then there's a lull, and then the bigger waves, the smaller waves come, and it builds up to bigger. And that's what you see in everything. And they didn't teach us this in school, so people are financially illiterate in everything. The average person doesn't even save more than 5% of their money. Don't be financially illiterate in anything, in real estate, in investing, in cryptocurrency, in launching a business. I can't believe how little the school system teaches us. I am flabbergasted. I talk about this all the time, and I'm still more surprised than ever. I'm going, let me get this straight. We know what the hypotenuse of a triangle is. We know that what the capital city of the state of Montana is, but we don't really know what dollar cost averaging is. I didn't learn that when I graduated high school at 18. I had to learn it over time. I luckily found some multimillionaires that took me under their wing and said, this is what dollar cost averaging is. This is why it works and how it works. And I was like, That's it. That's the simplest thing I've ever heard. It's like a magic trick. Magic tricks, once you see them, when you first see them perform, they're like, wow, I don't know how they do that. And once you find out the trick, you're like, that's it? I'm going to tell you, this game of money, one day, you're going to look back and you're going to feel ripped off. You are. I'm telling you. Or you'll never figure out how to make money. But those of you who figure out how to make money, you're going to look back and you're going to go, wait a second. This wasn't that hard. This was definitely not harder than learning calculus. Why are we teaching every kid calculus? Is everybody gonna become an engineer? It's great if you learn calculus. If you're going to be in an area where you can apply it, you're gonna be an astrophysicist, you're gonna be an engineer, you're going to do something relevant to that. But isn't it relevant to understand how to invest your money on a day-to-day basis? Yeah. Isn't it valid that you understand isn't it important that you understand volatility? Yeah. Do people understand volatility? Nope. They're like, oh, I'm going to put money in Bitcoin and it's always going to go up. Well, didn't you ever heard the common sense phrase, what goes up must come down? So once you understand what goes up must come down, you go, how do I profit and survive it going up? And how do I profit and survive it going down and all places in between? Smart people learn that. And when I say smart, I'm not talking about people born geniuses. I'm talking about people that were made smart by the people they listen to, the mentors they listen to. If you don't have mentors in anything, you will fail, I'm telling you. Or you'll succeed 10 years slower than you needed to. Those are your two options. Argue with me all you want. I can point to massive evidence. Massive. I once compiled a list. I went to Palm Springs. I spent 2 days researching the mentor. Name a person, I'll tell you their mentor. Albert Einstein had a mentor at age 16 years old. He ate lunch with every Thursday a mathematician who Einstein credited for of course, not 100% of Einstein's success, but a major factor. Jay-Z had a mentor. I think her name was Leor, who encouraged him to become a poet and a rapper. Warren Buffett had Benjamin Graham. Bill Gates had a mentor. Mark Zuckerberg was taken under the wing of Steve Jobs when things weren't going so well at Apple. I had Tom on the show who built MySpace. And he said one of the reasons he thinks Facebook surpassed MySpace was because he said, I wasn't listening, Ty. I thought I had all the answers within, and I realized that Mark Zuckerberg now in hindsight was asking more questions of smarter people. You want to know how to make money in Bitcoin? You follow smart people. There's no one person who has all the answers. One of the reasons, and you'll see this when you click this link and you head over to watch this free presentation. It is free. You don't have to put a credit card in. There's a paid version of it, but you don't have to do. I've had millions of people watch the free version, and a handful of them go into the paid program. The paid program is more in depth and all that. Some people go, oh, it's a scam. You're charging for information. No, I'm not. There's books. Is this a scam to buy a book? Oh, Lord. Learn logic, too. People can't think through problems. Literally, I see it all the time. People go, Ty, you can never charge for any education. Buy a book charges. People spend $200,000 to get an undergrad degree from some universities. You can charge. But I want to give this away for free. Not that I'm apologizing for charging ever, but most people, I always say 90% of people should just watch free stuff, and 10% of people who really need it should go into the paid stuff. It's not that complicated of a concept. But going back to Bitcoin, ask yourself this. At a fundamental level, do you believe in cryptocurrency and what's called the blockchain? Now, if you don't know what those are, then I have one piece of advice for you. Learn what they are, because how can you make a judgment call on something you know nothing about? So first, make your judgment, get your information, learn, then make your judgment call. And I tell people, it's like Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. Don't try to make an opinion. Make an assessment. There's times in my life when I've said, you know what, that's a great business for you. I'm not going to do it. I haven't made much money from building apps. I have my business partner has the top 5 highest grossing app in all of human history. Made hundreds of million bucks plus with it. That's fine. I made a business decision. I didn't want to just be, well, maybe I should make an app. Maybe I made a business decision. I'm not going to do an app. I'm going to do other things in my life. Some of you should make a business decision, a life decision. You know what? I don't really care about cryptocurrency. And you go off and you do something else. There's other things you can do. This is not the only thing. And some of you should say, yeah, I see it. I've educated myself. This thing makes sense. I'm going down that path. And go for it, for real. But don't be a flip-flopper. Maybe I should make it out. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, maybe I should do Bitcoin. No, maybe I should. Do or do not. There is no try. Really. Do or do not. There is no try in life. Life is the try. You see, life is the try. You only get one try. As far as I've figured out, life's like a parachute jump. There ain't no second chances. You don't pull the string, you hit the ground. Nobody says, oh, we're going to reconstitute. You're going to be a pancake. A lot of people, when it comes to finances, most people, the average person doesn't have enough money saved by the time they retire to even cover 1 or 2 years. They got to work at Walmart when they're 85 years old. And then some people retire. One of my first business partners retired before age 30. Done. Never had to work. And he does work because he got bored. He came back to do a business with me when I was in my early 20s. But I learned from him. Understand the 3 things. Number 1, understand the potential investment, whether it be business, real estate, e-commerce, or Bitcoin, or cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is one of those cryptocurrencies. Number 2, once you've educated yourself, make a decision. You may be wrong, but make one. A life lived with purpose and a little courage and a little decision making is extremely powerful. Now, will the price of Bitcoin go tomorrow to 100,000, 1 million like some? Or will it go to $1? Who cares? If you believe in the underlying asset, you're no longer swayed by the wind. You're no longer swayed by tweets and, of random people. You don't care what Bloomberg says. You might factor in. It's wise to listen to people with opposing views, but you're not in fear. You're not checking. What's the price today? What's the price today? If you're Googling Bitcoin price, that's fine. But my gut feeling is you're not understanding what you're investing in. Don't do that. Do or do not. You want to be an investor? Learn how to invest. And the principles of investing are universal. They apply to Bitcoin, Ethereum, real estate, flipping a house, starting a business, selling things online like Jeff Bezos, Amazon style, Shopify, ClickFunnels. It's all the same game. You learn the language of money, and you'll understand the answer to where Bitcoin will go. Bitcoin going to move all. I just talked to one of my big crypto hedge fund buddies. He won't come on my show because he's made too much money. I don't think he wants everybody to know. He don't want to get kidnapped. But, he's made a couple $100 million bucks. And I said, where do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go? He goes, up and down and up and down and up and down she goes. And I will make money up and down she goes. That's what he says. Self-educated guy. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education can make you a fortune, especially on the subject of investing. So click the link. Go watch some of this stuff. It's free to watch. Go watch the online seminar that I put together. It's quality stuff. You may not agree with it all, but hey, agree to disagree on some stuff. But it's not stupid. Okay? It's not stupid. Sometimes you disagree with people just because different, smart. You might be smart. I might be smart. We ain't going to see eye to eye on everything. Welcome to big boy world of planet Earth. Not everybody agrees. You don't have to call names. You just go, that's what I said. Some of you will click on this link, go to my website, and go, nope, I don't see it. Don't believe it. Okay. Do or do not. Then do not. Do not believe it and move on and go do something else with your life. And some of you will see the validity and you'll do. And that's like it, man. That's how you make money. That's how you make money. Some people and most people, they're in that in-between Neverland. They're in the zombie world. Oh, I'm going to get in Bitcoin because everybody says, everybody says get out of it. I'm going to get out. So they're buy high, sell low. It's just like, I feel bad. I'm not laughing at them. I was once that person because the system failed me education-wise, probably failed you too. Parents, my mom's a single mom. She ain't going to teach dollar cost averaging, volatility, alpha, beta. She doesn't know all these terms. She doesn't understand what a hedge fund is. She doesn't understand nothing. 99% of people don't know what a hedge fund is. 99% of people don't know what algorithmic trading is. 99% of people don't understand what an exchange is. Now with crypto, people don't know what wallets are. They don't understand what paper wallets, hard wallets, cold storage. Like, let me show you what people are teaching me. Because crypto's new. It's not like you can buy a book from 20 years ago, learn from some OG. OGs in this business are crypto and Bitcoin are like 3 years in the business, and they're like venerated as some, oh my God, this person got in 2014. Oh, they got in 2011. Whoa, so what? It's new to the game, people. The original people in the game ain't going to be the people who do it big in the long run. Institutional money's coming in this game. And institutional boys know how to do stuff that very few people in crypto now know how to do. They're going to change the whole market. It's a new game. The game of life changes at every moment. The second you get complacent and think you're smart and, oh, look at these noobs coming into the market, you're going to get taken out by the noobs. Watch sports. It's a good metaphor, an analogy for life. Oh, I'm LeBron James. I'm the king. You'll be dethroned. Michael Jordan was dethroned. Everybody gets dethroned. So best you can do is stay humble. Keep your head screwed on straight. Don't listen to all the noise. Learn. Accumulate wisdom here, like a gold miner collecting golden nuggets. And next thing you know, bank account starts to go up a little bit. And then up a little more, and then up a little bit more, and up a little bit more. And then life starts to change. I used to live in a mobile home most of my teenage years. You know? Don't live in a mobile home anymore. Now my bedroom here with the 2 bathroom wings is bigger than my whole mobile home upbringing. That's not to say it's a big house is everything, but it's nicer than living in a mobile home. I'll tell you that. So the way I got out, start to listen. A lot of people got closed mind. Oh, I already know. Oh, Bitcoin's a scam. Blah, 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 blah. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not to say that Bitcoin is for everybody. Cryptos, that's not what I said. I say informed opinions are rare in the game of life. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you prosper. Really. Alan Nation, my second mentor, smartest person I ever met, person that taught me how it's possible to read a book a day. He said to me, Ty, he said, secret to life is ignore 99 out of 100 people. But when you find that one person who knows what they're talking about, listen to what they say and listen closely and put it in action. Action, not just listening and one ear out the other, but implementing. And so I hope you will be a person who takes heart what I've said. And you'll go, I'm going to find out about this crypto thing, about this Bitcoin, about this Ethereum. I want to know, what is this thing? Not going to take you that long. You don't have to spend 4 years getting an undergrad degree. People spend 4 years getting an undergrad degree in Byzantine art history. Okay, well, I'm not to knock you if that's your thing, but people willing to spend 4 years on that. I'm like, why don't you watch a 1 hour video on investing? Oh, no, I don't have time. Don't you know I need to fucking play video games? Oh yeah. Well, why don't you skip the Byzantine art history degree for 4 years and learn something that will literally determine health, happiness, wealth, social life for not only your generation, but potentially generations to come, your kids and your grandkids. What you know about investing is a game changer, and it's a predictor of life outcome. Not that money's everything, but let's also not be in la-la land that money is nothing. Come on, time to wake up. I just had a Buddhist monk here, a former Buddhist monk who's now a businessman, and he said he wants to blend, happiness, but also understand you need to have material possessions. You need to. You got to feed yourself and feed other people. So, time to stand up. Time to do your thing. Time to learn. Click the link. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. I'm telling you, mark today on the calendar. It could be a day where many things change. Action precedes change. Procrastination precedes failure. Don't procrastinate. Click the link. Go listen. See you over on my website. For those of you wondering the the price of Bitcoin, as my hedge fund buddy told me, who made a couple $100 million the last year or two in crypto, he goes, it's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, and he's going to profit on the up and the down and the up and the down, and the uninformed are going to lose on the way up and the way down. See, some people don't realize that when it's going up, if you don't know what you're doing, you're actually losing because you're buying high. Ta-da! Common sense meter at an all-time low on planet Earth. No, Ty, I don't want to buy Bitcoin when it drops. Why? You want to buy it high, right? You're that genius that buys high. If you believe in the underlying asset's value, then you dollar cost average in. If you don't believe in it, if you think Bitcoin has no utility, don't ever buy any Bitcoin. But you can't make that decision until you read the white paper, the original white paper on Bitcoin. I think it's only 8 pages. See if it makes sense. Can you read 8 pages? Because if the answer is no, you ain't never going to have much money. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not being condescending. This is my message to myself. If 8 pages freaks you out, there ain't nothing for you in this game of money. I don't know how to. It's like I was doing boxing today with a pro trainer. It's like, if you can't do 8 sit-ups, this ain't for you. This ain't for you if you can't do 8 sit-ups. You know, go click the link, go watch this presentation I have. Oh, but Ty, it's an hour. Well, if an hour is too much for you to invest in yourself, you should not go in this game. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. What's called resignation is confirmed desperation. That's for you. I had to tell myself that one day. Oh, yeah, Ty, I can predict your future. Future's poverty, my son. That's what I used to call myself. Pretend I was my own father. My son, poverty, I can predict your future. You don't know anything. You can't define anything. You can't, like, money is esoteric to you. Goodbye, Ty. That's what I told myself. And then one day I woke up and said, well, time to get a move on. And unfortunately, it took me too long. So I hope you'll learn it faster than I did. The rewards are there. It works. I've seen my bank account have $1 in it, and I've seen $1 million deposited in a day. It's a big difference. Now, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, not necessarily going to make you $1 million in a day or $1 million ever. You can lose money. But you can lose money in your house, too. You can lose money buying a car. Every time you go out to eat, you lost money. That money ain't ever coming back to you. You think your Fat Burger or your In-N-Out or your McDonald's coming back to you. The only person that gets wealthy there, guarantee, shareholders and owners of those companies. People, oh, I'm not going to put money in this because I could lose it. Well, you're already losing money every day. Who gets rich off your rent? You? No, the landlord in the bank that he or she probably has a mortgage with. People are already suckered. People, oh, is this a Ponzi scheme? You're already in a Ponzi scheme. Corporate America, baby. All the money rolls up to the top. I know, I own companies. Money rolls up to the top. Read Karl Marx. Das Kapital, 1800s, talking about this. The laborer is exploited by the bourgeois, the proletariat. Yeah, okay, there's some truth to that. Obviously, I'm not a communist, but I'm also not an idiot. Money rolls on up. So where you want to be in the chain and progression of rolling on up? You want to be the person at the bottom complaining that the money rolls up? Well, it's been rolling up for a long time. If you can't beat them, join them. I think somebody said something like that. Was that Wile E. Coyote? Bugs Bunny. Can't beat them, join them. So in this crypto thing, people are already making money. That's where people get lost. Oh, the money's already there. Bitcoin could go to $1. I got friends already pocketed a couple $100 million US. They're good. They rode the thing all the way correctly. And the sad thing is they're not smarter than you and I. These aren't wizards. They don't have magical powers. They're just like when everybody else procrastinated and everybody else didn't do a little research, they did, and money rolls on up to those people who do. or it rolls on down right past the people who don't. And you get to see it out your window. Oh, man. One of my buddies texted me. He made, put $340,000 in February. He made 20 million bucks. Even if it goes down half to 10 million, he still made about 10 million bucks. So money rolled on by right up to him. And on the way, it rolled right past the window of all these people going, well, Bloomberg says it's a Ponzi scheme, that there's no underlying value. Well, at the same time Bloomberg and banks were saying that, the banks were building their own cryptocurrency trading desks. They were talking out one side of their mouth to the public, oh, be very careful. And at the same time, they were stacking up and making the money and working on how to make the money. Don't be careful. Don't be getting your advice from these. Yeah. You know, I didn't have a dad really growing up when I was young because I was a single mom. So I guess if you believe in the traditional world, the dad's supposed to be the guardian, your guardian, right? And not that your mom isn't, because in my case, my mom and my grandma were, so mothers were more guardians to me. But in some theoretical, I guess some people call that a misogynistic world. You call it what you want. Like money, the guardianship, the cynicism is supposed to be taught to you by your dad. So I was like a little naive and grew up and like, oh, okay, these people they're the media, so they tell the truth. They're my elders, so they tell the truth. They're my school teachers, so they say I need to know calculus. They know. Why would they sit here for years? Like, are they like willing accomplices to me learning idiotic things? I'm like, that can't be. And then you get older and you're like, wow, maybe if I'd have had a dad, my dad would have said, trust no one who hasn't proven themselves trustworthy. Beware of perverse incentives, meaning people in a system are being paid to teach you. They're going to teach that because they want their money. There ain't no saints in this world. There's a few. You'll be lucky if you meet one in your whole life. I don't know if I've met one. Maybe meet the Dalai Lama or something. The rest of the people are just people. So you got to keep your guard up, and you got to do the common sense thing. And almost everything that I said in this video about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, it's just like common sense, man. Do you have it? Is it common sense that things going down are always bad? Like, if your answer is yes to that, like, so you go to an auction and the price goes down for something you want. Is that a bad day or a good day? I feel like that's like a great day. I went to every year I go to Rihanna has a dinner. It's like a charity dinner. So last 2 years I went. And this year I was in New York. And like you're there and like it was something I wanted. Dave Chappelle was cool. He was the auctioneer. And what was it that you got? Oh, it was like a dinner with a president or something. And I wanted it, and I'm like bidding, and it went to like 250,000. I'm like, shit, I don't want to meet a president that much. But the point being, like, the price going up was like a sad moment for me. I've been to some auctions. I've won crazy badass auctions for like no money. And because the price like just didn't go up. So I learned a long time ago, like, don't always judge something by the price direction. You value it by the underlying thing that's being auctioned off. I did an auction where I was going to go with the San Antonio Spurs on their private jet, but I was too busy. That was supposed to be actually today or a couple days ago. And I was like, the underlying value of it, is it worth it? And that's all I contemplated. And then I hope nobody else bid, but this is a true story. Brad Pitt outbid me. I could have still gotten some of it. It was for charity, but Brad Pitt literally outbid me. I'm not, some people will be like, name dropping. I'm not fucking name dropping, dipshits. I'm telling you a funny story, which I find funny. If you're so insecure that I live in Hollywood. These weird people, interesting celebrities around here. It's a funny story, but it teaches a principle that like, oh, okay. The underlying thing that was being auctioned off, I want nobody else to buy it. So if I believe in Bitcoin or Ripple or Ethereum or Verge or Tron or, you name it, Augur. So that's what I said. That's just an illustration. Like if you believe in something, you like are actually rooting for it to go down because then it only has to go up once and you can exit. if you want to do so. That's the thing people don't get. Why didn't they teach us this in school? I know why, because the people teaching us this didn't know it. So how can you teach what you don't know? I had to go out and learn it the hard way. And I did. I figured out how to make 100 grand a year. Then I figured out how to make 100 grand a month, and then 100 grand a week, and 100 grand a day, and sometimes 100 grand an hour. And all along, I'm like, this ain't that hard. I mean, it's not the easiest thing, but it's easier than me having a 9-to-5 job. That'd be harder. I know I did construction. That's hard. Building a house from scratch, I've done that. That's hard. So you can choose what you want to learn. Some part of life got a challenge. If you really want to be in the game of money, whether it be Bitcoin, real estate, business, whatever it is, you name it, stock market, you know, you want to trade equities, you want to do commodities, Forex, currency, whatever your thing is, start with a powerful application or a powerful dose of education. Not the education that everybody thinks, not mainstream education. We already know, we can see the evidence. What Jesus Christ say, judge a tree by its fruits. We can already see the fruit of the modern education system. You will understand a bunch of random facts, and you will have memorized them, and you will forget them, and they won't help you at all in adulthood. Literally. Name something that helps you from 8th grade. Basic math, you could argue. Whatever. You want to go down that lazy semantical argument? Okay. Yes, it's very helpful. The real thing is, could you have learned it practically faster? So it's such a moronic, low IQ argument. But I won't get into that because I'll be here for another 30 minutes. I got to go to bed. Go here. Watch this video. Could change your life. It already has for a lot of people. And some of you will decide it's not for you. You decide. You. Only person who cares really about your financial future is you. I mean, I'll help you with what I've learned, but let's face it, I don't know you. You don't know me. It's a video. I'll share what I know. You know? I hope it helps you. So, see you over on my website. Click the link somewhere up here.